Hi, I'm Judith. I'm a Canadian and I'm over 80. And as usual on this channel, I've got some stuff I want to talk about and about how to have a happy and fulfilling and successful life. Because I've learned a lot of things in my life. And one of the things I'd like to do to pass on for other people is some of those things that I've learned that have helped me to have a happy and successful and fulfilling life. But today I want to do something a little different. I'm going to do a kind of a review of the videos I've done so far. You can see that I'm in a hotel room, and I posted from a hotel room on Sunday last. This is now Thursday, so the 30th of July of 2026, and I'm on the road, slowly driving my way back across Canada from Vancouver Island back to Ontario to my home, taking 3 to 4 weeks to do it, and on the Before It's Too Late tour number 3, seeing everyone along the way. By the way, I misspoke in the last video if you happen to see it, because I said that Before It's Too Late tour, I talked about number 1, which was in January, February 2024, and then I talked about number 2, and I said it was in September, October 2023, but it was actually 2024. So sorry about that. I can't edit on the road, and I don't really know how to edit anyway yet. I'll learn that as I go. But anyway, I wanted to just clarify that. Um, it it occurred to me, I think I have 9 subscribers now. I'm really, I'll be happy when it grows to 10 or 20. Um, and uh, and so maybe some people are new, and I want to just suggest that, because I don't usually sign on to the channel to right onto the channel. I don't want to mix up the algorithm, so I don't watch it on my own. I have a channel especially for this, and then I've got my own, or sign in or something. I've got my own one where I watch videos of all kinds of things, but I did look at on my phone this morning to see what it looked like on the channel, and so what I notice is when I Google for my channel, and I'm assuming if I subscribe, the videos don't necessarily come up in the right order, but if I actually go to view channel, I can see them in the right order. And so I want to suggest, so for people who are new, that I did a lot of what I think are the really powerful things right off the bat, right early on in starting these videos. So I'm just going to do, I'm a teacher, I'm going to review, but there's no test at the end. So I'm just going to mention some of the things that I've covered already. And I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One is that I want a video to put up this coming week on Sunday, so it will be a few days before I actually get it posted. And then I think I am going to take the next couple of weeks off from doing this on the road while I just focus on getting home. And then I can, and that's not because I don't want to spend the time doing the video, because I likely have the time to do a video about something, but I don't have the tools with me to edit. I don't have my laptop with me, and I noticed, so I can't put on the title page properly, and I can't edit even to the limited extent that I can, because I don't know how to do it I have an iPad and a phone, an Android phone, and that's all I've got. So rather than do a bunch of videos that I noticed the last one just posted with a date on it, no title or nothing, I didn't seem to find a way to do all those things that I can do on my laptop for it. So I'm going to just forego doing them, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I will, and so I'll just review what I've got out there so far, and you can use the next couple of weeks to catch up if you haven't seen all my videos. I know people's time is short, and they don't have time, and the algorithm doesn't always feed them to you, even if you subscribe. So, so I'm saying, if you'd like to catch up, just go back, actually go right to my channel on YouTube, do a search, find the channel, and then view it. There are also some playlists there. I couldn't tell on my phone. I think there are 3 playlists. There's one on decisions. I think there's one on a bunch of tools like gratitude habits, affirmations, and so on. And there would be one on the I think it was a general one I started, but then I realized that every video would be on it because it was about having a happy and successful life. So I stopped putting things there, but it's pretty much on what I started with, which were the tools I use every day to keep my life on track as an ADHD person. I don't always talk about that, but because I have ADD at least, maybe not the H, maybe. So let me just review quickly the general subject matter of the videos that I've got out there. I started back in January with kind of high-level, well, a couple of high-level things before I got into the details of what I did. One was the intentions, starting to define your intentions, and I did that sort of in the new year. So defining your intentions for a year or for a period of time, 3 months, 5 years, whatever, and using that to keep yourself on track to creating the life that you want, to be an active participant in creating the life you want, instead of just floating through life and letting it take you wherever it takes you. I also talked about identifying touchstones, and touchstones for me are, I always have 7 touchstones, and they are the 7 things that I define, if I achieve those, that they will be success. They are things like health and well-being, happy marriage, good relationships, in the days when I was working then, right livelihood, a career, work that I loved, things like that. Also lifestyle adventures and spiritual connection. So I did a video about that. And those are really high level ways of setting parameters for your life that say, this is what I'm aiming toward, this is what I want. And I think that's very important. And then I did a whole series of the tools that I use to keep life on track. And I may need to use more tools than you do if you don't have ADD or ADHD. But maybe it would help. Some of them might help you anyway. So I use every day, and I've got videos on each of these. I use a habit tracker. I use a gratitude journal. I don't do this while I'm on the road, by the way, because I don't have to be as intentional. The trip itself provides the intention. I've got a habit tracker, the gratitude journal. I have my big master to-do list, and I have my daily planner list. And I call it my books, and I just keep them there by my seat in the recliner in the living room, and they go away when company comes. and every night I spend, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, just filling them out and keeping my life on track and in order. So identifying your intentions and touchstones were the first couple. And then I talked about, I actually did, episode 3 does not exist, I deleted it. I had talked about my master list of things to do. And then I saw it again one time, and I thought, this is really boring. I got into too much detail, which is a habit of mine. I had a friend the other day say to me, you live your life in more detail than the rest of us, Judith. I think that's really true. Anyway, so there's no episode 3, but episode 11 does cover that book. And then episode 4 is about using lists for daily planning. And I also talk about the gratitude journal and the habit tracker in other videos later on. I think, okay, so episode 5 is maybe the one I should have put out first. It was why I started this channel. And I likely recorded it first. And so if you want a general overview of my life and what I think I can offer, but what I think are areas where I can't talk, check out episode 5. And then I have a series, and some of them fit into the tools I use and some of them don't, but they're about how you envision and create in your mind, in your imagination, and therefore ultimately in reality, the life that you want to live. So I've got the magic of visualization, the grace of gratitude, the force of habits, and choosing the stories we tell ourselves. And those are all, I think that's all. Yeah, those are the ones. There are 5 of them. Oh, the power of affirmations is in there too. And those are all really important ways to do it. So you might want to go back if you really want to catch up in a more organized way. You could go back and just watch from the beginning. If you look at the channel list, you can go back and see it. And then I'm looking at my list. Oh yeah, and then episode 11 was using lists to keep your life on track. That replaced episode 3. Then I have a couple, a whole bunch on how to kind of organize your life on a daily basis. Things like keeping on top of things that go wrong, cleaning up messes, finding daily joy. I have a little thing, a conceptual diagram called the happiness map, and routines that keep your life running smoothly. So that's all about sort of what you do on a daily basis that can keep life going well. Excuse me, I need some water. Then I've got a couple on living with purpose, where I talk about, in part 1, I talk about living with purpose in general terms, and in part 2, I share my own mission statement that I also wrote years ago, and I reread occasionally and try to keep my life on track with that as well. And then I've got my most shameful secret, and that's got the most views of all. Lots and lots of people have seen my most shameful secret, which is I guess, proof that clicks, that things that are negative get more viewing than things that are positive. And I think that's a darn shame, but there it is. And there I was really honest about the thing that was most shameful for me, because if you're going to have a happy life, you have to deal with the things that happen that make you ashamed as well, and find a way for them not to tie you down or hold you down or give you a negative impression, or ways that you can overcome or learn from the things that happened that you're ashamed of. So you can take a look at that one. That's episode 19, I believe. And then, I diverged into a couple of things that I thought were really important and likely are very dull for most people, but about doing your civic duty and voting and how to vote. And this may not seem to be connected to having a happy and fulfilling life, but it's my belief that if you fulfill your duties as a citizen, as an adult citizen, and you fulfill them with honor and integrity and thoughtfulness, that also adds to your sense of self-esteem, as well as making you be helpful in terms of the greater good for society, and that's a really good thing. I will talk at some point. I guess I've never done a video yet on being of service, and I will talk about that at some point. I must make a mental note to do that. But anyway, living with purpose, the ones are episodes 20 and 21. Something you never expected to lead to happiness, like fulfilling your civic duties, and something every adult should do. And yes, it leads to happiness. And that's about how to vote, how to be a thoughtful voter. And then I've got a series of 5 episodes, 22 to 26, are 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on decision making. I didn't think when I started on decision making I would have so much on that. But if you think about it, the decisions you make are, to a great extent, the degree to which you're going to, guide your life. You'll make bad decisions. We all will. And have to recover from them, and then you'll make good decisions. And I use, in all cases, I'm telling you stories from my life, and not to brag or boast, but in order so that you can see how it plays out in real life, and hopefully you can see your own stories and have some awareness of how the decisions have played out in your life as well. Not to blame yourself, but to learn from them, and also to celebrate your successes in making good decisions, and how that builds your confidence. And then I did one on miracles happening, how we bought our house. That harkens back to a lot of things. It harkens back to affirmations, to visualization, to serendipity, I guess, being ready for things, So it was how Dan, my late husband, and I bought our house back in 1982, the house that I lived in for 30 years. He lived in a few years less than that because he died earlier. And then I did one on being grateful no matter what. And so that goes back to the gratitude journal, but being grateful even when bad things happen. Again, illustrated from my own life. And the last one I did before I left, or that I had done before I left for vacation, was coping with physical pain, because at that point I was having quite a lot of pain in my hips, really a lot of pain in my hips, and it has gone away now, thank you God. But coping with physical pain. And then the one I did just on Sunday last about pushing your limits, going a little past your comfort zone to accomplish things and do things that you feel a little nervous about doing. So that's what's there. I've got lots more to talk about in my life, but this is a time maybe when you can catch up and review, and then I will see that I would be posting that at the beginning of August, and by the middle of August I should be home and back. So it will likely only be a couple of weeks that I'll be missing, if at all. Anyway, yeah, do take a look at all those tools and all the past things, because I think that a lot of my really good stuff is there, and a lot of the really good stories are there. Not that I'm going to run out of stories, but I've been saving up for a lot of years. So anyway, take care. Do your best to have a good life. I know that you can do it, no matter what age you're at. I'd love to see comments. I'd love to see likes. I'd love subscriptions. And I'm doing this for the love of it, and because I want there to be a bit of I want my life to have meant something that maybe lives on a little bit beyond me, and maybe if I have any wisdom to share or any advice to share, I always say take what you like and leave the rest. But I hope that you can get something from this, and that it will be of help to you. Anyway, until the next one, bye.